Oh, we're back for a second week. Did anyone listen to that first episode? Did you get any feedback?
I got some feedback for our ladder predictions.
Oh, yes.
I had many Newcastle Knights. Well, many. I had a couple of Newcastle Knights and also a couple of Canberra Raiders fans reach out and say that I was very wrong.
Right.
And yeah.
Just a reminder, where did you have the Raiders, Ben?
I think they were last, Dave.
Well, I had them 5th, so those people loving me, I'm sure.
They're loving you, Stu. Yeah. Loving you.
All right. What's the go? Look at LOYG. Vegas has been and gone, and now we've just copped the team list for the rest of round 1. Dave's here. Hello, Dave.
Hey, guys. Great to see you.
And Ben. Hello, friend.
Hello, gentlemen. It is absolutely wonderful to see you both again.
And strangely, our teams faced each other in Vegas, and now, we don't actually... That doesn't happen again for the rest of the regular season, so...
Regular season. Finals, for sure.
Finals, yeah, obviously. Goes without saying. But we can't chip each other for another NRL game during the season. And, look, I'll talk about that game in a minute. What about a couple of NRL news headlines just to start us off here?
Oh, please.
Mitchell Moses signs big deal to stay on the Parramatta for another 4 years. Mitchell Moses signing on to Para. Any thoughts there?
I'll give that signing 3.5 stars.
For him? Or
for him or the
game
Eels?
Or what?
Well, I think 3.5 stars for the Eels. I think 8 stars for Mitchell Moses.
How many stars is it out of?
Out of 5.
Yeah, look, there was some talk about him going to Roosters potentially, but he's just got all in on Para for his career pretty much, which, it doesn't happen that much, but it's a show of faith in Rylesy, you would have to suggest. And also, it's maybe a little situation where he's looking at Dylan Brown going, all right, mate, now what for you?
Yeah, come on, buddy.
Dylan Brown getting offered a 10-year deal by the Knights.
There's no way his great-great-grandchildren don't want him to take that deal.
Yeah. His manager... What are you saying? His manager phoned him about the deal and he just got a little kind of tingling in the sack from future generations. Future generations going, financial security, it's ours. I don't know why they sound old. But maybe they, Anyway, I can't hack it. Dill Brown, no disrespect to him, he's a great player. But they want to pay him $14 million over 10 years to play halfback? Repeat after me. He's not a halfback. And we've seen him try and
Has it got the Jerome Luais about it?
I think, I don't know if we said this last week, I would trust Luai to run a team 10 times more than Dylan Brown to run a team. Don't you think? We've seen Luai
Unbiased,
do it.
But yeah.
But also, I think the O'Brien effect with Newcastle halves is not a great, that's not a great combination.
You're right.
You're assuming he'll be there next year, but also
Here's my hot take, my tepid take. O'Brien won't be there past May.
Right. Terrell May.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. But, yeah, that may well be true. But that's confidence in your coaching if you sign someone for 10 years for $40 million and you keep chopping and changing them out of your halves every 3 or 4 weeks. Look, I don't like it. I don't know why. It's my feeling
Seems
is...
weird.
Just go and buy someone from Penrith. Go and
Like everyone else.
Go half from Penrith and pay them bloody $800,000 a season, because that would probably be a better use of your money, I reckon.
But Peter O'Sullivan's meant to be the best recruitment manager in the league. You can't say that that's a canny move. in my opinion.
Maybe it's some craziness so that when he suggested he brings his Sean O'Sullivan down from then it makes a whole lot more sense.
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for Sean O'Sullivan to sign a eighth halfback in the squad.
Well, okay. The Titans are the team of fullbacks. Then maybe the Knights are going to be the team of halves.
1 to 13 halfbacks running out.
Sounds good.
Carl Olawapu released by the Dogs.
Good call.
Yeah,
by the Dogs.
Bit weird though, right? Like, is he going to play? Is he not?
Injured? Or broken? Like, maybe never to return?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But, you know, I don't know. I keep hearing Dolphins whispers. Just slightly in the wind. Just like Dylan Brown's Future Generations. Dolphin.
Insert dolphin sounds here. Yep.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Watch out, Benji. Terrell May in the press again, talking about wanting to play with his brothers. That's a big warning sign for Benji.
This is interesting. That's crazy. Look, I, for one, cannot wait to see all of the May family back together again. I think that which team is going to be the May team?
Yeah. Look, Talon, you know, I don't know him, can't speak to his character, but let's assume his court stuff goes away. That'd be an alright signing. I don't know that many people are scrambling to sign Tyrone. Dave?
Well, hey, he's a grand final winner, isn't he?
I suppose so.
True.
Is he cracking first grade in Super League at the moment, though?
Yeah, he's doing well.
And how about this? Big League is coming back. Big League.
At your local news agent?
No, I believe it's in digital form, but you can, if you subscribe, I think, get a hard copy sent to you. I think that's my understanding of it.
Okay, so, well, can I ask you this? What's your greatest, or what's your memory of Big League? Like, what was it? What's the thing that you remember most about Big League?
The team lists, I think, which...
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, yes.
And I just want that's the font that you used to have for those team lists. The font's got to be the same.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And we need more people in reserve grade with with the number 42 on their back. That's what we need. More of that.
All right, Vegas. Let's talk Vegas. I think, we don't need to go over it. I think it's been gone over in other media, other less substantial media. 4 games is too many games. And the Gillaroos giving the English Roses an absolute pounding probably wasn't the best look.
I don't know if 4 games is too many games. I think 4 quality competitive games.
Tepid.
Tepid take.
Yeah, give us, what's your lineup for next year, Dave? Would it be...
If you if the women's match had have been maybe Australia, New Zealand or Origin, then it would have held a lot more interest. Then once it blows out past this into the 70s and beyond,
almost made them follow on.
Yes,
I think.
Oh, did England get wrapped up in baseball?
It was a moral victory, yeah. Because I don't know. Did you find? I found something. We found when we were watching the KO broadcast that the commentators kept making a big deal about who ended the half in possession, like that was some sort of victory of some kind. No one knows that.
Missed that.
All right.
Did they really though?
Yeah. Like, they're going to finish the half in possession.
What
I heard it like 3
does
times.
that
Going,
do for anything?
I don't know, maybe 4 games. Just too much.
Is it a gridiron reference? Like, if you finish the half in possession, do you then get possession at the beginning of the next half?
Maybe.
I don't know.
But Dan Ganane should be kind of across the differences between NFL and NRL, I would hope.
Should be.
Yeah, look, even a NRLW game would be fine if it was evenly matched. It's the even matchedness really that's the issue. But anyway, that aside,
It put a massive spotlight on just how far advanced the Australian women's game is into anywhere else globally. Because the interesting thing that I saw was that although the English team got walloped, they were on the other side of it in their last 3 matches. They won 50 plus in their previous 3 matches to that game against Australia. So
right.
looks like, yeah, the Aussie game is just light years ahead in the women's version of rugby league.
Who were they playing before Australia then?
France and Wales.
All right. So what I'm hearing is Australia v Wales next, and we'll just go for sheer volume of points rather than a tight competition.
So is there an option for an Australia v Europe?
Well, the only way it would help is if each European country was able to field 13 players at the same time.
This is good ideas. This is what we're talking about.
Upton would still find a way through them, I reckon.
Maybe they could play with 14.
All right, let's send an editorial into Big League and try and get that published.
Absolutely. In the correct form.
What about the NRL games, fellas? What did you think? Raiders looked all right.
Yeah, Raiders look good.
Risky Raiders early on, and it kind of came off for them. They threw it around and it stuck. So Warriors coaching I just found baffling.
Yeah, unfortunately for Metcalf, I thought he was in good nick from the trial games, but he didn't look so good. Harris Tavita maybe ended up not being the best choice ahead of Toyori Martin. Not that he played badly, but it's just like he got dropped in there with no trial games when the bloke who was playing in the trials was sitting on the extended bench, and Warriors just kept kind of spreading out wide on a thin field. You're not going to run around.
They're going to run around them when the field's narrower than where you've played before.
But the Raiders were good. You can't really go past the fact that they were pretty bloody good.
Almost
Corey
fifth on the
Horsburgh.
ladder. Good, would you say?
Oh, well. Right now, I reckon they're first.
Savage. I'm a huge Savage fan.
Lightning.
Big Xavier. Plenty of pace in that Raiders backline.
Yeah. I've got Seb Cruz in my Supercoach team, so I was happy with his work as well.
Well done. No Timoko?
No, I didn't.
Hot tamales?
No tamales.
2 of them.
Look, let's get to it. Sharks and Panthers.
Okay. Happy to discuss.
Man. Oh. Well, look, we're going well for about 20 minutes there. But I think that's probably down to that first 20 minutes was the Panthers being a team that didn't really play trials. Warming into it.
It's like Dylan Edwards hasn't picked up a football in over 6 months.
Yeah, but Sharks just, look, they played well for some bits, but just too many errors. Nico, good in the first half, kind of disappeared in the second half. I don't know. I haven't watched the KO mini, but to refresh myself, but that's how it felt.
I think they're going to be a little. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to find that perfect balance in the halves because you've got 2 great halves, and Nico's wearing 7, but I think Trindle was playing halfback.
Yeah, I don't think Trindle can be a 6. It's not his game.
Yeah.
So Nico's either got to be 6, second receiver, running it more, playing eyes up footy, let Trindle organise, or it's going to be awkward and not gel like it did at times last year.
Yeah, it just gets real awkward.
You were playing an insane defensive side, though.
Yes.
And they did.
And you scored 4 tries.
That's the most tries we've scored against the Panthers in, 6 years?
Yeah, probably.
And we usually, I've read, but, it stands to reason. Like, usually in games like that, with 20 minutes to go, we would fold.
Mm.
And we would
2
fold.
years ago, How far did it blow out towards with
Was
20?
it 24-10?
2 years ago, in that same position, it would have got over to 40-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40-10 it would have been.
To fight back within 2 points with a few to go, next try wins.
Yep.
Big improvement by the Sharks.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that you're going to go into the finals potentially against them and not have that we've beat them.
Yeah. And I just think there were times when Cleary did stuff, a kick here and there or a pass here and there, where there's just nothing you can do. It was just that good.
That chip through the line.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tungo. It was almost indefensible, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to stop that?
Yep.
Exactly.
My favourite part of that game was the whole 80 minutes of Liam Martin going. My favourite part of the game was the whole game, which was just Liam Martin going non-stop crazy mode. But how does it? It's shades of Gal, I guess, with limitless energy to just go non-stop.
And
I loved it.
And does he look even wilder this year? Somehow?
Well, one of the boys I watched the game with noticed a bit of a grey streak in his long curly hair, and he said he's got a bit of the Judith Lucy's about him.
Well, that can only be a good sign for NRL football for your team. Oh, man. I wish I'd put what odds a Judith Lucy reference in our NRL podcast. Wow.
Incredible. But again, I just want to tread over some old territory. But when your side's got Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, Liam Martin, Dylan Edwards.
Yep.
Then you can afford to have Brian To'o out for a match.
Yeah.
You're pretty good.
You can afford to fly him over just to hang around.
Yeah, just to
and
hang
be
loose.
fun.
Yo was outstanding. Just outstanding. Like that, and even like someone like Scott Sorensen.
Yeah.
His defensive presence was incredible.
Yeah.
But that last defensive stand by the Panthers was like,
yeah.
that's what. Look, it's first round, haven't paid trials, and they come up with that in the last 3 minutes of the match.
They deserve to
incredible.
win. The defense alone deserved to win. And Dave, I know you said you enjoyed every minute, but you kind of enjoyed Dylan Edwards' hands at times during that game.
Oh, no, I just enjoyed Liam Martin's minutes. Dylan's minutes, not so much. It was... There were times early in his career where he... hands for feet, feet for hands. But he hasn't had that for a long time, and that was as bad as he's ever been, I think.
Yeah.
Knock-ons, didn't play it with his foot, gave away a penalty in possession. It was just, very not Dylan-like.
And if any...
All right.
Sorry, mate, you go.
So, well, I have a question for both of you. So, positives for your team for this week, Dave. What were the positives that you took out of that game?
Well,
What are you putting in your backpack and taking with you for next week?
that normally a team that loses their winger in the first 5 minutes is going to struggle big time, especially when their star winger is out before the game. And that they're certainly not going to peak too early because they haven't played those trials and they've got a long way to go from here. I did not expect them to be able to match it with the Sharks this last game. So it was a great surprise for me.
Awesome. Stu, what did you take away?
I think what Dave said before, we've talked about this being the Sharks' year for a real premiership tilt. And what I take away is that Sharks lost by 6 against the Panthers, not just the Panthers. And like Dave said, other years, it would have blown out, probably. But Sharks came back and got within a whisker, got within a bizarre, non-allowable refs challenge for some reason. Anyway.
Please explain what happened.
No idea. No idea. And can I take this opportunity to apologise if any of the guys I was watching the games with are listening to this? because I was not carrying on like that was a first round game. I was carrying on like it was the grand final, particularly at that moment.
Oh, there was a lot of... Every time the Sharks scored, I was giving it the come-ons, like very, very loud.
Very Hewitt.
There was a lot of, very Hewitty, a lot of psst, a lot of that, like a lot of letting down tyres,
Yep.
a lot of, heaps of that.
Yeah.
It was great. It was good to have the league back.
Yes. All right.
But my positive for our team is that Fanua-Blake didn't play real well in his first stint, but geez, I tell you what, he played well in that second stint.
Yeah.
And he's just going to get better, and that combination is going to get better and better. And
Yeah, absolutely.
To roll over Isaiah Yeo to score a try is no small thing.
Indeed.
But enough about those two games. What about the rest of the round? Team lists dropped today, and we'll just have a little look through them here in terms of standout inclusions. Roosters and Bronx. No Tony Staggs, as we know. Shibasaki gets that role. Gets that
That
centre.
Shibasaki, the centre pairing of Mariner and Shibasaki,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
it does.
What are you going to pair that with? A nice Chianti?
A nice wine from the Pakes region. Yeah, so
Excellent.
Corey Pakes wins the hooking role over Billy Walters, but Billy's on the bench, and Tyson Smoothie extended the squad, unfortunately for him.
And Gazeski in the back row too. So.
Yeah, he's beaten Pierre Cora to the edge spot. Roosters, I don't know if there's much to say there. They're as munted as they were last week.
Indeed.
Not a lot to say there, I don't
They
think.
didn't miss out on 2 points last week, though. Do you think they will this week?
Absolutely. And so does Sportsbet. They've got them at $3, with Broncos $1.37.
Now, can we just have a quick comment on Lindsay Collins' hair? There's a lot going on.
What do you want to say about it?
I think that he needs to go back to the short back and sides.
US military cut?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, I can't say it did much for me. It does, he looks a bit caveman-esque at the best of times, and that wild hair doesn't help that situation.
Correct.
He's not going to make the Monstars team with that look.
No. He's not going to have a streak of Judith Lucy like Liam Martin either, so... Yeah, I don't approve, if that's what
Are
you're
you
asking.
looking at the pictures on the NRL website or NRL app?
Yeah, what are we looking at? Lindsay Collins?
Well, we were looking at Lindsay Collins. I just looked at Pat Carrigan.
What's happening with Pat Carrigan? Oh, okay. He looks like the photographer just farted. If anyone wants to bother going to the NRL.com and looking at Pat Carrigan's
It's
photo.
just that
On my way.
extra strand of hair that he's got out,
Yeah, that's
strategically
true.
placed.
Listen, it's going to be a long podcast if we look through photos and decide who looks like someone farted and who didn't. All right. Tigers and Knights. What would we call an interesting point there? Jack Cogger wins that halfback spot for the Knights. Phoenix Crossland starting at hooker with Jaden Brayley on the bench.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, extended
Brayley's
squad.
on the outer there, but why?
I don't know.
Is it just hasn't come back since injury?
I think so. Maybe he's just too much for how... Maybe they just don't think he's going to have what he used to have, what they paid for after all these injuries. I don't know.
Just in regards to the Tigers bench, just looking at their bench, I think that's pretty solid. Tristan Hope hasn't even got his photo.
No, that's because that's his debut, and I recommend going to the West Tigers socials and having a look. There's a
Is he the
great...
28-year-old?
27, I think.
Yeah.
He played well in the trials. Go to West Tigers socials. There's a video of Benji telling him that he's in the team. It's great. I dare you not to not to feel something about that.
Okay.
Awesome.
But look,
Thanks for the tip.
Their interchange bench of Royce Hunt, Jack Bird, Sione Fainu,
Yeah.
and the new man,
Yeah.
the hope of the Tigers.
Yeah.
That is not a bad bench.
No. It's a good bench. I'm high on Tigers.
Episode 4.
And I like
A New Hope.
Outstanding, Dave.
And I like Twal starting at lock and just tackle his dick off for most of the match. And just, you can bring on your Royce Hunts and Jack Birds for impact, you know? Yeah, I like it.
Correct.
What else can we say? Not a ton. Jackson Hastings extended bench. Adam Elliott extended bench for Knights.
Elliott extended bench is the interesting one for me.
He must be not fully fit, you'd have to think. All right, Dolphins and Rabbits. Avarillo named in the centres. I think there was a fair bit of talk that he'd be 5'8", but Nikarima and Katoa are the halves for the Dolphins. And Max Plath on the edge, number 12, with Gilbert at lock, which I find surprising as well, especially when you got Lemu on your bench. I would have thought Plath might have been a lock or a bench, given versatility. I feel he's got more versatility than Lemu.
Now, just another interesting point, just in regards to the bench players. At what time will Tallis Duncan remove his headgear?
Oh, right. Time in the match or time of the evening?
Time in the match.
Oh, right. So it's always second half, isn't it?
Depends if someone tackles him and takes it off. Like if it's in the first 3 minutes.
Is that it? He just never puts it back on if someone takes it off?
As soon as it's been dislodged from the place that he sets it up at, it's gone.
All right. I'm going to set a market.
Yep.
Yeah, set a market.
I'll take the unders.
Jai Arrow on the edge instead of the middle. I don't know if I agree with that. And really, this is just all about what I agree with and what I don't.
I think it's just a matter of they don't have anyone else.
Yeah, I suppose.
That sort of quality on the edge, but they do have middles.
Supercoach Wayne Bennett's not like lining up exactly with what I think.
Now,
strangely,
can we talk about Campbell Graham? Because I thought
broken hand was supposed to be out for ages, and here he is named round 1.
Is that Bennett smoke and mirrors? Is that smoke and mirrors?
Interesting. Who have they got on the bench that's...
Matt.
Liam LeBlanc. Yeah, Jacob Hosty could come in. You could stick Hosty out in the centres, I suppose. I don't know. South's a shot.
They are. Yeah. South are gone. They're gone.
Dragons and Bulldogs.
Let's move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Dragons and Bulldogs are lining up as expected. Montoya gets a wing spot for the Dogs. Yeah, I think they're both Gula and Couchman starting props for Toby, that is, for the Dragons, with Jack DeBellin at lock. Ryan Couchman gets a bench spot, which I quite like, with Fatala Mariner, one of my favourite surnames in the NRL.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the Doggies bench. It looks very small. Hayward, Tupanua, Hayes, and Jamin Salmon. That's not a big bench.
Not enough utilities for you?
Oh, utilities up the yin yang. I want, a bit of size.
Okay.
There's not much happening there.
Yeah, when you look at the Dragons bench with, Fatala Mariner is the size of 2 humans.
That's why he's got 2 surnames.
Yep.
2 set double barrel.
Yeah. Are they going to run him off the field?
I think there is actually, if you take out Salmon, the other guys are decent size in the Dogs. Harry Hayes and Tupanua's not massive, but
No.
Harry Hayes, check Harry Hayes' photo. He's got a neck on him like a thigh.
I like how this podcast is just evolving into us telling people to go to NRL.com and look at guys. I'm not complaining. I like it. I reckon it's a niche. Who do you think's... we'll get to tips, but Sportsbet have Dragons at $2.30, Dogs at $1.61. I'm confused by that.
Load up and gamble responsibly.
Yes. All right, Eagles and Cowboys. Let's have a look here. What's interesting about this? Duffy gets the halfback spot for the Cowboys. That's Thomas Duffy, not Matt Duffy.
That would have been interesting. That would have been a very interesting selection.
Yeah.
So Jake Clifford's on the extended bench. Do you think there's a chance he comes in? Or they wouldn't have named the young Duffy if he wasn't going to play.
No,
Surely
I think
not.
Duffy outplayed Clifford in trials, from what I remember. Jazz Tavaga starting for Manly ahead of Jake Simpkin. There's no Croker,
I think round 4 he's back.
at the moment. So, Jazz Tavaga starting 9. That's interesting. All the Trebojeviches are in there, as many as you can get. And I'm
Full house.
Yeah, I'm interested in Takiaho, seeing how he goes coming back to the
He
NRL.
looked all right in the trials. I think he might be okay.
He's
I wouldn't
starting.
expect massive minutes out of him, but he's going to definitely have an impact for that team.
Yeah, I thought he'd be benched for sure, but he's starting.
That team has got some attacking firepower.
Yeah. Oh, look. And Luke Brooks, will he be able to back up and have another good season? Time will tell.
I'll back him in. I'll back in Brooks.
Yeah.
Ben, here's one for you.
Yes.
Unplanned, sorry. Who would win, Harry Hayes or Daly Cherry Evans in the Battle of the Necks?
Oh, Harry Hayes. Harry Hayes is the new neck champion. Like,
Dave, haven't you ever heard that girth beats length? Girth better than length. All right, Storm and Eels. Oh, check. Not that I'm only saying it because it's here in front of me. I'm not advocating everyone run to Sportsbet, but Sportsbet have got Storm at $1.11, Eels at $6.70.
So just 11 cents guaranteed for every dollar you put on.
Pretty much. Ryan Pappenhausen named at fullback. I thought we were told he would definitely not be there, but there he is.
He was quoted through the week saying that Bellamy was making more of it than it was. He was fine and good to go.
All right, well, that was true. And Bellamy, full of shit.
There you go.
so here's a Melbourne-based question. Will Tyrone Wishart get some type of representative jersey this season?
Unless they're bringing City Country back. No.
Do you just think pure utility? I don't know.
There's something about that kid. It's not just his surname. He is. I mean, yes. Again, it's a system-based pick, right? Like he's exceptional in his role in that side.
Yeah.
But he is a.
Was it confirmed that Bellamy's the assistant for the Blues?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
If so, maybe because he does have the Craig Wings about him, doesn't he? That can cover every position. Yeah.
Yes.
Got a touch of the wings. I'm just throwing that out.
No, that's fair.
Delete that from the record at Origin time.
Great question. And he's starting at 14 in this match. Look, Jack Williams on an edge. Starting on an edge for the Eels. The pants puller Joe Offengowie starting at prop. And Brendan Hands has won the hooking spot in the Eels. Volkman starting at halfback.
Yeah, the newly signed up Mitch Moses is out for this game.
Yeah.
I read that it was the screw in his heel is causing him grief.
Foot problems.
That can't be good.
No, that's...
No wonder he took the money that was on offer in a deal if he can't walk.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll sign for 4 years. And by the way, my feet are falling apart.
Yeah. We're going to need some ramps.
Does the field have, access for people who need it? Yeah. I obviously censored myself very quickly there, didn't I? All right, let's get out of here with some predictions. So, you can just go head-to-head if you like, or you can be a bit wilder if you feel confident with something more specific. So, Roosters Broncos, Ben?
I'm going to say Broncos 19 plus.
19 plus. All right. Dave?
Well, my Broncos by 20 sounds weird now.
That's Price is Right rules.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Look, yeah, easily 13 plus Broncos. I think they're going to absolutely pluck them.
Oh,
Pluck the old Roosters.
nice one.
Tigers and Knights, gentlemen.
Oh,
That's a spicy meatball.
It is a
it
little.
is. I'm going to take the Tigers
Is that Campbelltown?
1-12.
Yeah.
How's this Heath Mason go? Bull or out?
He's a bit of a Timu Jai Grey, but he's all right.
I'll take the Knights, thanks.
Like,
1-6.
that's unfair. Like, I just mean he's kind of like Jai Grey, but Jai Grey's probably a bit better. So that's how I said it was not respectful.
Yeah, Buller and Appy are both out, so I'm going to go with the Knights.
Yes.
By not many.
Yes. I probably would have gone Tigers, but just I've still the memory of that Roosters trial is still strong in my mind, and I think they're probably in a bit of form. Mr. K. Ponga particularly. All right. I should make a note of these too, so we can talk about who knew what they were talking about next week. Dolphins, Rabbits.
I'll start because
Relocated to
it's
Sydney.
been relocated to
by the way.
Combank, so I think that'll help the Rabbits. But as we mentioned before, that team,
Yeah.
it's like the
It's busted,
Bennettless. Actually, I pass.
Pass. Pass. Well, that's a draw then, isn't it? Dave predicts draw.
Look,
Dolphins for me.
Yeah.
Just.
I'm going to take Jake Avarillo as anytime try scorer.
Okay.
I think there's going to be there's every chance there's going to be a buttload of points in that game. So
Right. I'll go Dolphins 6-10. Let's say.
Be going against the authentic, not Timu type Jai Grey.
Real Jai Greys. I feel no, he's not gonna be enough, unfortunately, with that side. Dargans and Dogs.
I was going to take the Dogs straight up.
Yep, straight up Dogs. Dave,
Yeah, Dragons.
Dragons. Yeah, I'm gonna go Dragons too.
I think it's nearly sold out already.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. At Netstrata.
Net Strata. I'm going to go Gutho anytime.
Oh, that's not bad.
Gutho anytime into the Dragons to win.
Oh, there you go. And it'll probably, I would suggest, if he's going to score, it'll be a backup up the guts job. Yep. And can you add in for that try to be converted as well?
Yeah, totally.
I'm gonna if we're gonna throw any times out there, I'll throw a Damien Cook out there.
Ooh.
I reckon he'll be itching to prove a point, and I reckon he might try and nudge his head through close to the line at some point.
Okay.
What about the Eagles and Cowboys?
I'll go last with this one.
Stu, you want to go first?
Eagles. I've told you I don't really rate the Cowboys this year, and they've got to come down from to 4 Pines. As we said, Manly looking pretty nice, pretty stacked. Yeah, Manly will by 12-ish.
Yeah, I was going to say Manly 13 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say Manly by 30. I think it's going to be an absolute walloping.
Wow, okay.
Turbo for a double.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh, look. Yeah. Monty told me that he was surprised by my Cowboys last. I'm still nothing is suggesting otherwise to me. Even
Last time that these two played last year, what do you think the score was?
Many to Nenny?
40-12.
20 all Golden Point.
Oh, that's yeah. All right. And are there enough numbers in the world to predict the Storm Para results?
I
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if Pappenhausen plays, 3 tries.
3? Wow.
And if he doesn't play,
2.
2.
All right. Logo's back to extended bench too now. Yeah, look, Melbourne, easy. By 20.
yeah. Concur. Hey, would you guys be interested in a little trivia session? 3 questions.
3 questions, sure.
Oh, yeah. And also, sorry, I'll just give you the Manly 13 plus into Tommy to score 2.
Yeah.
10.75 at the moment.
That's pretty good. But we haven't seen Tom move around yet this year, though. That's the only thing.
No shower-related accidents reported?
No.
Not yet.
No Corso challenges. Hit us, Dave.
I'm going to hit you with some questions. If it's interesting enough, we'll do it each week. So I'll just hit you with 3, and then we can just have a winner each week, and we'll carry over each week.
Very good.
So I tried to keep it all just around the round that's just been. So we've only got the 2 games.
All right.
So round 0, which team had the lowest completion rate? Raiders, Warriors, Panthers, or Sharks?
Stu, Warriors?
Incorrect.
Oh.
I was going to say the Sharks.
Well, we're going to have to keep going until one of you gets it right.
Okay. Stu, well, you get the 50-50.
Was
This
it?
is hilarious.
Is it Raiders because they kept scoring before the end of their sets?
Well, no, that's a completed set. But
Ah,
yeah, it
damn
is
it.
the Raiders. So Sharks and Panthers, 78%. Warriors, 75%, getting walloped. And Raiders was 69.
69%. They're like, oh, wow.
That makes
Yeah.
no sense.
It makes no sense. These are... I can't remember where I got these from. I think it was NRL.com. Most tackles for the round.
Oh, which player?
Individual person.
Individual person. I can give you the 4 players that topped each team, and then you can have a crack if that helps.
Or can I
have a crack before you do that?
Yeah, I think you're both going to say this.
The Cam McInnes?
No.
Is it Brayley?
It's Brayley.
Oh.
Point each.
I think
right.
he had. Well, hang on. What did he have? I think he had 52 with about 8 minutes to go or something.
Well, he had a big 8 minutes. Got up to
Yeah.
61.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Helped play
is
an 80 in the
huge.
middle, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he actually played really well.
Yeah.
This is pre-round 0 stat, this one. So this one is a question in regards to the best winning percentage in the NRL since 2022. And not surprisingly, all 4 names are Panthers.
Right. Oh, which players have the best
Which
winning
player
percentage?
has the best winning percentage?
Are they still Panthers?
Did you want to have just a guess each, and then I'll narrow it down to players if neither of you get it?
Okay. I'm going to say To'o.
Dill?
No. So that means I'm going to give you 3 names because Dylan was on the list, at the top list, but not number 1. So the other 3 players are Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai, and Liam Martin.
Yeah. Right. There you go. I knew Luai was one of them.
Who's number 1?
Luai.
Luai used to be. Liam Martin, before the last round, has an 85.4% winning record. And his last 62 games, he's won 53 times. So now it's out of his last 63 games, he's won 54 times.
Wow.
That is ludicrous.
That is Judith Lucidicris. Oh, God. Oh.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened with the tips and the guessing of the trivia there, but congratulations to both of you.
Thanks. I think that should just be how you end it every time. Just congrats to both of us and
moving on.
And
moving on.
All the best. Come back and see what happens next week.
Enjoy your footy. Thanks, guys.
And have an NRL of a time watching the footy this weekend, fellas.
I will. You too.
Thanks, Stu.
Did you like that?
Well done.
This is an Angry Chimp podcast.